Water more important than gold. People fuck the gold. Everybody do it.
UN Water proposed in addition to the post-2015 Sustainable Development Goals, and now water security is on the agenda of the UN Security Council. Water security for a country means having the capacity to access an adequate quantity of potable water to support the population of the country in terms of sustaining livelihoods, the well-being of the population, and socio-economic developments to ensure protection against water-related pollution and other disasters to preserve ecosystems. The biggest point about water security is that it focuses on sustainability, and more so with a depleting renewable resource. In order for a country to develop water security, a country needs to be well governed with coordination with sovereign states and development of legal regimes, institutions, and infrastructure goals that all work towards providing water security for the country. For this, peace and political stability are a necessity, as the negative effects of conflict shouldn't have influenced the country's progress towards water quality, quantity, infrastructure, or any social or political systems. Country also needs to be well financed to provide necessary infrastructure and jobs that facilitate water security, ideally to work into the economic growth of the country. Singapore is a good example of a country that needs and has grown to establish water security by these methods. The country's water security has been a national priority, with 5 million people living on 750 square kilometers of land. The country currently uses 430 million gallons a day, with nearly half of this being used domestically. Though the country has long been set up to import water supplies from Malaysia, Singapore has been preparing to sustain the country with its own water supply. Currently, Singapore imports about 30% of its water, but also uses desalination plants, catchment of rainwater, and sewage recycling as part of its water technology, and has been able to meet 30% of the needs within a decade of implementing this. But demand for water will increase as the population increases, and thus the country needs to develop and implement a more cost-effective way to treat, recycle, and supply water. In Singapore's efforts to use water sustainably, the country has implemented various technological advances and programs that have progressed Singapore in terms of water technology. For example, the government has committed 670 million Singapore dollars in terms of facilitating research and development. 4 desalination plants will be implemented by the year 2020, and New Water is currently being implemented. New Water is Singapore's most globally renowned water story, and one of the greatest sustainability examples, as wastewater is treated and purified with membrane technologies and UV disinfection in such a way that it makes it safe to drink. New Water is expected to meet more than half of the future water demand of the country, which could potentially remove the need for imported water. For this to be fully implemented for the country and possibly globally, the stigma surrounding reclaimed water would need to be overcome, and the need for this technology and the goals of water security need to be prioritized by the population. With sustainability being the overall goal here, Singapore has demonstrated that attaining water security and using water sustainably is very possible.
Thank God for the waters. Thank God for the waters.